I like having fun. I like
Play
to
the whole
laugh.
thing in a minute.
I like to meet people who can make me laugh. I like having fun. Yes, I like it to laugh. I like having fun to meet people who laugh.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good day. Good day, mates. All right. Welcome to Office Hours at our semi-regular, sort of normal schedule. A little late today. Thank you for obliging me in my schedule. We are here in Glendale. It is July 22nd here, and it is hot as hell. Hot summer. I'm distracted, very distracted today. First of all, we've got a great show. We've got Steve Conrad, the guy created one of my favorite shows ever made called Patriot. This isn't no Tom Clancy Patriot games. This is just Patriot. If you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon, Jeff Bezos' Amazon. The guy went into space. Or did he? We should talk about that, Vic. Did he go into space? I don't think so. I like to think he didn't. I think we should start. I'd like to see the corporate media start talking about how the guy didn't go into space. What is space? Let's get a definition. Let's look it up. Let's find out.
He didn't leave the atmosphere, the Earth's atmosphere.
He did not leave the Earth's atmosphere.
Not space's atmosphere.
So if that's space, then I'm in space. Dougie's here. Little Doug. Big Doug.
I'm Big Doug.
Vic Berger's here. Got some fucking Kodak endorsement, apparently. What are we doing? Are you taking that money off just on the side?
This is for rent. Anybody, I don't care
I
what
want
product it
peace.
is.
This is my show. And you're going to start advertising, what was it last week? Michelin?
It was Michelin tires.
Fucking Michelin. Now it's Kodak.
Uh-huh.
Is Kodak even a business anymore?
They're still
What are we
around.
doing?
Yeah. Very
And
important.
then we have a special guest in the guest couch. The casting couch. We have... We have one of the greats. Lizzie Cooperman here, ladies and gentlemen. One of my faves.
Bright lights and promises.
She's on keyboards. They're going to get a lot of complaints about what's going on back there.
How's this? Are the drops too loud? I can't.
Mine sounds low.
Oh, God.
1, 2, 3.
Holy moly.
We should do a drop mix one of these shows where it's like the drops are way louder.
Oh, really? Wouldn't that be what we call any given show? God bless him. The attitude. No, I'd like to do an introduction for Lizzie Cooperman if I could have that opportunity, guys. If that's something that can be afforded to me. Or is your soundboard too precious that you can't stop touching it for a second?
That's a good
I guess not. Okay, we'll move on. Lizzie, I apologize. We'll have you on again. We'll have you on again sometime.
No,
soon.
introduce
No. Because no, you know what?
Let's.
So what do you want to do, Vic?
I would like to introduce her.
Very
or maybe
good.
maybe you should. You should. But like,
Vic.
just do it, and we'll be quiet this time. But
Thank you.
yeah.
Vic. Lizzie Cooperman is here, comedian, and she's going to be accompanying herself with some sounds and speaking too. I hope at some point. Speaking. Do you have plans to speak? Oh, what is she? What is she? Harpo Marx? Yeah. By the way, I'm going through the mail, and Doug gives me this. So it came through your P.O.
It
box?
came through my P.O. box.
Wow.
They wanted to make sure it got to you right.
All we get is it says this one is for Tim, and it's got a beautiful painting. I kind of quite like the painting here. It's a rooster sitting on 3 dead. What do you make of that? What do you think those are? Some kind of sheep?
Show it to the camera.
Oh, damn.
Sheep?
Oh.
Yeah,
Outrageous.
perhaps, yeah.
Rooster's sitting pretty up there on those dead sheep. Fish around everything. Now, I look on it and go, okay, it's a nice album cover. Rah. There's nothing on the spine to tell me nothing about who this is. I open it up. Still nothing. Just another goddamn piece of art. Some kind of word. I can't read that word. Can you make out that word? I see swim. And then this was just like, I should try to start reading this. Look at this. Look at all that
my
writing.
God.
It's just typed. And it says, suffered that's, he suffered the summer and he witnessed the winter as it opened his arms to a bouquet of lovers, and out of the petals were...
Is this from Chris Harrison?
I love records.
I think
Because
it's
that
from-
is exactly. Do
I
you
don't
know
know.
the
I don't know those
invitation?
references because I don't watch all these reality shows. Okay?
It's,
Now, I still don't know anything about what the band is, what kind of music it is, whether they got good reviews, bad reviews.
Apoplectic.
And then I try to get the damn thing out, and it barely comes out because it's on some kind of thick vinyl, like it's a goddamn 33 and a third RPM for my gramophone. And it says monogram on it. Okay, well, you know what?
You got something there. There's
We'll
something.
put it on and we'll listen, and hopefully it'll be great.
Got nothing.
But guys, if you're in a band, ladies, put the name of your group on the cover of your album,
Be My Baby is my favorite song.
right? What do you think you're, the Beatles? Even the Beatles themselves put their name of the album, name of the band on the cover. Hey, we're the Beatles. Check us out.
Hello.
Yeah, but that white album, they just.
That says the Beatles on it.
Why don't they get someone to make some fun picture? Why do they got to just be white?
Because don't you understand? They just come off the colorful maximalist imagery of Pepper and Magical Mystery Tour. It was everything. Boom, bang. They're hitting you with everything, and then it's like reset white. Wipe your mind. It's all
What do you
about
like
the
the-
music.
Do you like the white album better than the Metallica black?
Yes.
Straight
No
white
one
man
really
not
likes
allowed to talk.
Metallica. Come on. Oh, Sarah. All right. Lizzie, how was your summer?
oh my God. Everything's skyrocketing for me, Tim. My summer, I actually spent the summer. Are you talking about this summer? Which summer should we go to?
In general, your summers.
It's been really good, actually. I'm looking for an apartment right now, if anyone hears of anything. And I want drama. I don't want drama-free. Most people say no drama.
What are some of your favorite neighborhoods in Los Angeles? And then we'll get to Zoom. Then we'll get
I'm
to
going
the
to say
Zoom.
I'm a fan of Pasadena.
There you go.
Right now. I like the wide
yeah?
sidewalks.
Oh, yeah.
I like the
Tree-lined.
sprawling
Tree
rose
lined.
gardens.
Tree-lined.
What kind of drama do you want at an apartment?
I want Virginia Woolf at sunrise.
What is?
I want that level of drama.
Do you want like a landlord that isn't a crazy
I
landlord
don't
drama,
know.
or do you want like a neighbor that?
Pounding on the wall.
I want someone to just fling open the door and be like, somebody drink my almond milk.
Okay.
And then I want to have to kind of see how that plays out through the course of the lease. Beginning
course
to
of the
end.
lease.
Yes.
Okay. Well, a couple of big announcements before we get into the show. This week, by the way, today begins a series of office hours events, the likes of which you've never seen. Okay. We have today's show. Okay. We have today's wonderful, jam-packed, fulfilling show that you're going to be so fulfilled by.
Chaka Khan.
By the way, if you're not a Patreon, you're listening in the future for us. You're listening to something that already happened. Dope. What did you do? Join now. Then you don't be so dumb, and then you'll be part of the live experience. And then your friends won't look at you and go, what a dope. Patreon.com/officeHoursLive. $5 a month. Couldn't be cheaper. It could be, frankly. It could be a lot cheaper. But it's not. With inflation, Vic, we got to start thinking about raising the prices.
Bring it up a bit.
Everyone's talking about inflation.
You get what you pay for, as my Nana always would say.
But today begins a weekend of office hours extravaganza events that I think already people are getting very excited about. They don't even know. Tomorrow night, the return of office hours East. Almost like the Wicked Witch of the East. Want to make those comparisons, right? Wicked Witch of the West. She was the green monster, right? With the Vic.
The West was a and
East was a beautiful princess.
it was Glinda.
Right.
Glinda, the witch of the. But she was a good witch.
She was good.
She got slammed by that house.
And her sister was the West one. Sister had the green skin.
So office hours East is sort of
I don't know
the.
how that's possible.
I don't like this this portrayal of the Office Hours East be sort of the heroine of the story. I think we are. So I think we're flipping that story on its head. Kind of interesting to examine that some more. We get our maybe we can get somebody from the Frank L. Baum Foundation to call in and comment. Matt.
Wait, sorry, are you saying you're anti-Office Hours East, which is part of our empire?
No, I just think it's not fair to label us the wicked old witch with the green face and the nose.
Yeah, I'll get you my pretty.
And then who's John Glazer? He's got the pink dress. He's getting slammed by the house. I don't think so. Toes curling up. I don't think so. That's Friday. That's tomorrow night. That's on the East Coast. Is Slice coming back, Matt?
Definitely.
John Glazer.
Got Slice. They have a little interactive thing. Is
Terrific.
it gear?
I don't want to know anything.
Well, this is like a people have to submit.
Oh, okay. Then we do
To
need to.
tweet your pictures of is it gear? And John
Is
will
it
tell
gear?
you. New York Jonathan.
New York Jonathan will tell you.
If it's gear or not.
Is it gear or not?
Yeah.
He'll tell you.
He'll let you know.
Wow. Okay.
Very confusing.
Now, that's just the beginning. Actually, it's the middle because this is the beginning. Today's the beginning. Tomorrow's the middle. Saturday, mark your calendars because game night is back. And guess who our guests are going to be? I think this is going to shock the world, the comedy world. Greg Turkington with his spouse, his wife. Is spouse a taboo word? Are we calling people spouses anymore?
I think it's fine still.
It's all right.
Spouse?
Yeah.
His scouse? What if his wife was Scottish? She'd be his scouse spouse. That'd be fun. His scouse spouse, Simeo. Now, this has not been seen before. I don't think it's ever happened. You're going to see me and Greg with our masks off.
Very
Just
interesting.
being how you might see us on an average Saturday night as we convene for gaieties.
Wax on, wax off.
That's Saturday night for patrons only. Okay. And Greg's got his own game that he's developed.
Who else is going to
apparently.
be here?
The gang. You. Are you going to be there? Or are you going to chicken out? Not chicken out. That's not
I
fair.
canceled plans to be here. And Vic?
I'll be here.
How are we going to fit?
We'll make it work.
What are you going to bring? You going to bring a DuPont visor?
Might. Or Wheel of Fortune or something.
Yeah.
Raytheon?
Yeah, Raytheon. Vixen in with big
Bezos.
big defense. Big defense. Let's take a zoomer, and then we have some big news about the city of the day as well. Big bad news.
Big bad dudes?
Big bad news. Nathan Oxenfeld. You got something. I think you're new to our scene here.
Nathan.
Hello there. I was just doing a little party hat celebrating all these cool events coming up.
Cool.
Yeah. I did have a question. I was curious who makes the cover art for each episode, like this episode with the tricycle. All three of you on the bike.
Great question, Matt. Do you have an answer for him?
It's Julius Cox this week.
Yeah.
It's true.
Cox.
It's in the description. It's usually in the description.
Cool. So yeah, you just take submissions for those.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
There he is.
Cool.
Join the fun.
Yeah, send them in.
DM me. Send them
Yeah,
in. We
yeah.
need more.
You fucking cock.
Did you make that sign behind you?
I did.
Oh, there we go. Wow.
What is it?
It's a little. It's an eye chart actually.
What does it
Ah.
say? You can be. I can't read the rest.
It says you can learn to see clearly.
Cute.
Oh.
You can relearn to see clearly.
That's
Yeah,
that's
you-
an attention grabber there. That'll suck
Tell
you
you
right
what,
in.
boys, my sight
Well
is
done.
going rapidly. I have to wear. I'm wearing glasses now to read.
I saw
Just hang
your
up-
post. That
Alright.
was news to me. I've
Man.
never seen Tim in glasses.
I'm worried I'm going to get beat up if I wear them outside. I don't want to look like no nerd.
Four eyes Tim.
How do you get
You gotta
Doug,
hang up
Vic,
an
how do you
iPad.
avoid getting your asses whipped
Like I am just
when
a
you
tough
go
guy.
out to the
I've-
park or go to the bar?
I don't know,
Because I would whip your ass if I saw you out there. What about Lizzie too with the specs?
I've been whipped. I've been whipped.
Is your ass ever get whipped with those four eyes? I'd be way up in your grill, being like, "Fucking four eyes, get the fuck out of here, asshole!"
I just give him my lunch money and say sorry.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I
don't make eye contact.
I'd be doing this shit, Doug. I'd be like,
Yeah, I'm just like, I get small, and then
I'd
they
take your
feel bad
glasses.
for me. They won't hit me.
"Goodbye."
Yeah, Tim, if you hang up an eye chart, just read it every day. You might not need them as much.
Well, so
Yeah.
you're
You can
claiming
work out
that you
those
can
muscles.
you can actually improve your eyesight? Or are you just making that up?
No, yeah, if you make it sort of a daily thing, just leave it up in your room, read it every day.
I'd like an actual
Yeah.
scientist to
Yeah, but what
comment
if you
on
know
that.
what it says? You're just gonna go
Right.
through the motions.
Right.
An eye doctor.
Well, he'll
And you're
make you these
standing
signs. You
too
should-
close.
Yeah, don't you just memorize what it says and that'd
Just
be it?
say it with your eyes closed.
Yeah, so like if it's a little blurry, you actually use that memory to help you a little bit, stretch farther back. So you can kind of play with it and see if it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm interested. Because
I'll send you one
I
of these.
don't like this feeling. I'm
okay.
looking I was looking at that record, and I can't really read this. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's like black on red, but I kind of got to do that old man thing where I got to find my little zone where it works. It's fucked.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to flex it. Keep it flexible.
Okay.
Yeah.
City of the day. Hashtag fail. Play along to this song, Lizzie. Can you play along to this? I think the audience somehow collectively silenced your keyboard. I went in there and... Oh, cool.
Wow. Oh, keep going with that.
What is that from?
Santa Fe.
Wait a minute. Where's that here? Let's isolate. Shh. Drop, boys. Calm down. Is that loaded in the library?
Yeah.
Wow. What other hymns do we have?
Nice.
I'm thinking of good vibrations. Great. Thank you.
It's really good.
What year is that keyboard from? 90s or something like that?
Yeah. Look at this.
Right.
There's a chunk taken out of it.
Show us the back. This is pretty clever. It's a pretty
Yeah,
clever
yeah.
hack.
So the battery pack, all my batteries spilled out. I thought, what's going on? My keyboard isn't working. Turned out the tray was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used just a kitchen sponge and I taped it onto the back.
That is inventive. That is almost MacGyver-esque.
Thank you.
Does the chunk have a story that's taken out of it? Is there?
That's when Tim saw me in glasses.
Oh shit!
I smashed that keyboard over your
Smashed
head.
the house.
Not nice.
I saw you do this routine at the now defunct Satellite a couple
Oh,
years
right.
ago,
Right.
and I thought it was terrific.
Oh, thank you.
What was one of your? What was it? You would tell a joke and then slam that keyboard. It was funny
Right.
every time.
Right. I agree. Right. It was. It was extremely.
What was? I hate to say what was one of the jokes, but I just do love.
I don't even remember. I mean, what was one of my jokes? Doug, help me. What was?
Do you have any memory of any of your jokes? I want to do this to you.
Yeah. Should I
When it comes to you, it comes to you. And you know what? If it's
Okay,
not
okay,
coming to you,
folks.
then maybe we should examine the
No,
jokes.
I would like for it to come to me. But right now I'm doing a character. Okay, so like normally I would come
Right
out.
now, you're doing a character.
Not right now, but
Okay.
I would.
What is all this stuff around you? There's a lot of clutter by you.
I have a couple thermoses.
I know, but I'm looking at the
One-
frame, and there's notebooks coming out of everywhere. What are you,
yeah.
Tiny Tim?
I have.
That's
I do
Tiny
have
Tim with
some
his bag, you know,
notebooks.
Tiny Tim used to come
I
on
have
with his
some
bag.
ideas. I'm a poet, so I keep notebooks around. The poet always dies.
What is the
The
poem?
poet is the first to die.
What's the latest poem?
Truly, I wrote a poem called "I Took It Out on God."
Oh, that sounds controversial.
It is pretty good, actually. I'm entering into this poetry seminar that starts next week, actually.
You're entering into a poetry
Into
seminar.
a poetry seminar.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm taking this like week-long poetry
real?
intensive. For real.
For real.
I do write poetry.
I love it.
I mean, I would assume you
Are
do.
your
because
poems
you like-
rhyming?
By the way, Bob Dylan went to my summer camp.
When you were a kid.
We went
I
at
was
the
just-
same time.
I was. He went
We
to
were
there
the same year.
to molest teenage girls during the summer.
Yeah, luckily I was there that year.
Here's the one thing y'all should know about this camp is we do have a visitor every couple days. Bob Dylan. You're familiar with Bob Dylan? He comes in and he sneaks into the cabins at night. He's almost like Jason from the
But he comes.
Friday the 13th.
But I remember my first week there, they were like, "Oh, this is Bob Dylan used to sit under this tree and play guitar."
This is a Jewish camp.
Yeah, it was called
because-
Herzl Camp.
Yes,
in
I was.
Webster.
This is funny you bring it up. I'm reading this new biography of Bob Dylan, and it's called "The Double Life of Bob Dylan," and it's very thorough, and it's very like being an honest, like let's
Oh, yeah.
get down to like what this guy's really like, and they talk about that camp in the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it was. I touched a bat at that camp,
Touched a bat, like a baseball
like a
bat.
dead bat, the
Oh,
animal, a
shit.
bat,
Wow.
dead on the ground. Like I played the drums at the time, but I had a drum pad, you know, like a big
Yeah.
thing. And for some reason, I wasn't wearing my glasses, and I thought I saw my drum pad in the middle of the woods, and I was like, "Is that my drum pad?" And I went up to it, and someone was like, "That's a bat," but it was like this
Oh,
big
Jesus.
black, kind of rubbery shape.
I got chased by a snake the other day.
Really?
Yeah, sorta.
I love to laugh.
Where was that?
I was just walking in the neighborhood, and I was walking I was doing a big walk, and it was in the afternoon, and a snake was slithering right beside me, and I just started running. I think it was a harmless little garter snake, but
Right.
it gives you a little scare. You're like, what if I
I wonder
get
what the
bitten by a
symbolism
snake?
of that is. What do you think? Get a Peloton.
There you go. Stay indoors. Get that AC pumping. Let me ask you something, folks. You ever run out of paper towels?
Yeah, I'm out right now. It's a nightmare.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then you should be in the market for Dogs the Bounty Hunters. Have you mistakenly held the ketchup bottle upside down and squirted all over your face? Went to check your wristwatch and accidentally spilled an entire glass of red wine on your new rug? Then when you reached for a paper towel, you grabbed an empty cardboard tube instead? Well, thanks to the fine folks at Dogs the Bounty Hunters, it's never been easier to solve these common problems. Simply press the emergency alert button on your Dogs the Bounty Hunter key fob, and a high-frequency, high-decibel alarm only audible to canines will immediately summon a highly trained St. Bernard. He'll be at your door in no time with a roll of bounty conveniently strapped to his neck so you can clean up your mess in no time flat. That's Dogs the Bounty Hunter, not associated with Dog the Bounty Hunter. And now, these dogs only get Bounty brand paper towels? Is that correct, Matt?
I believe so. I
It's-
think,
yeah, they
I think
have a-
Vic booked this out.
I booked this. Yeah, I was talking with the bounty people about trying to get a visor, and I suggested this to them.
Oh, so this is in conjunction with Bounty brand.
correct. Yes.
Cool.
We were in talks and coming together. So see how this ad does.
You ever think those paper towels come back all slobbery?
They might, but it just you set them out for a little bit and then it just dries. You know, it's
Better
So-
than nothing.
they're clean mouths.
Better
They're-
than nothing. T.
Dogs' mouths are
Better
cleaner than
nothing.
ours. I've
Better
heard.
than nothing. We've had a very difficult to crack code for this season of the City of the Day, and there's a guy out there named of Mark Bay.
Well,
Oh,
some bad news. Mark flaked on us.
Oh
Mark
no!
passed.
Oh my God.
Mark
He
passed on.
passed away.
Mark Bay has died. No, Mark didn't show up. I don't know what happened to
We
Mark.
should call, when people die, we should say they flaked.
Flaked on life.
Yeah, my grandma
Flaked
flaked.
away.
But we have a backup. Someone wants to take a guess.
All right.
Well, that's
We
fine
wanna
too. Why do I
entertain it.
care
Yeah,
who it
yeah.
is? Just go to the guy who guesses it.
Well, it's not Mark. It's Dennis now.
Dennis. Is this the ghost of Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys who drowned in the bay?
Oh,
He did.
I hope not. I hope not.
I
Can you
hate-
guys hear me?
Yeah, how you doing? Oh yeah, Floyers.
Yo,
Oh, Floyers.
yo,
You from
what's
Philly?
going on? Yo, I'm from Philadelphia. Now,
yeah?
suburbs. Yeah, but I live in the place where JoJo left from the song, the Beatles song.
Tucson.
I live in Tucson, Arizona now, and
God, why
I
don't you
love
give
it
up
out
on
here.
this Philly shit, man? If you're living in Tucson, Arizona, just get rid of it. It's over.
Hilarious story, Tim. I moved
be the judge of
here in
that.
2014, and then 4 years later, I moved back to South Philly, and I only lasted a year, and I came back to Tucson because
Couldn't stand the humidity, eh?
couldn't stand humidity. The cold was more like it. Was
Right.
the worst part. But,
There's no ice to skate on
anyway.
in Tucson.
Is it still?
Well, I do play ice hockey, and there's only one sheet of ice here from about October to April, so I don't get to play a lot here. But anyway, I didn't know this was for City of the Day. I'm sorry. I went to the chat and it said, anyone want to jump in? And I said, yeah, I'll jump in. I thought that meant to talk to y'all. So I don't know what the code is.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Some more fine producing from Matt Carlin back there.
Couldn't have been more clear.
Wasn't Matt's fault, and I jumped in too late. So I will move on and
Fair enough.
concede
Does
my
anybody
time to
should
somebody
we just
else.
give a clue and let him guess on the spot?
The clue was
Yeah, let me
it
ju-
stinks.
Okay.
So Connor Schultz in the chat
Obscure.
says he has a guess.
Connor? Okay, let's
Connor?
go Connor. Thanks. Dennis.
Philadelphia, then.
All the best. Go Philly. Go Philly. Oh yeah.
Connor. Unmute, please, Connor.
Hello.
Hello, Connor. How you doing? You're very close to your camera.
Am I?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I
And
just
we have a
came up
ceiling
with this guess
fan.
on-
Ding, 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 ding. The
Hey,
ceiling, I see the
there you
shadow
go.
of it, but
Yeah. Yes, we do.
we always see
Um,
ceiling fans when we talk about it. It's very fun. God bless the ceiling fan. Keeping it cool.
This is kind of an on-the-spot guess, but is it like the capital cities of the least populated states in America?
By all means,
It's-
don't have a wrong answer drops.
not-
let
it is
us-
not, 'cause
By
it-
all means, don't have a wrong answer buzzer set up.
I had
In
the
your
right
drop
answer
library.
ready
He's
to
got
go.
X-rays on his wall.
I mean, it was just so off.
Gotta be
It's
something
just
along those
shocking.
lines.
So you just wanted to meet him with like silence, just
Well,
like
Matt said the clue is it
It
stinks.
stinks. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we can give a double down on the clue.
Right. It's bathroom related.
Oh,
that
that's a
that
real
would be
hardcore
tough.
clue.
That's still tough.
all right. No one
It's
got it. No
toilet
one wins.
related.
We all lose.
All right.
That's
I'll
life.
give.
You want to go
I'll
ahead?
give one more hint.
One
think
more.
about
It's tough.
think about a flavor of jelly.
What?
Wait, what? That doesn't
Look at
help
what
me.
today's city
you're
is.
you're trying to guess the actual
Oh,
city.
the actual
Well,
city.
they're not going
Oh.
to crack the code. 'cause
Oh, that's what I was trying to do the code.
That's
Okay,
complicated
Okay.
for a
All right.
Well, that's the game though, is to crack the code.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying right now it's too late.
But it's a good clue for the name.
Mark Bay failed us.
What about here's another clue. A supersonic jet, baby. Supersonic.
Oh yeah, very fast.
Supersonic jet, baby. Hit
Anyone
me.
want to guess based on that? Blake says he's got it. All right.
People are zoning out.
Maybe put the pipe down next time before calling in.
Blake, what do you got?
Is it Concord,
Correct.
Virginia?
Yep.
Concord, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire?
Yeah. Very good. Thank you very much. City of the Day, Concord, New Hampshire. Vic, what was the code?
The code was the top 10 states that clog their toilet the most. So congratulations to number one. It is Vermont.
Wait a minute.
Vermont clog based on
But what
Google
is
searches.
how do you determine
unclog
this?
a to-
How do you determine the city out of that?
Well, Matt did that
Just the
part.
capital.
Yeah,
The
the
capitals.
capital. Yeah, the capital.
Oh, so these were all capitals.
Yeah,
I was just
capitals
going
are-
for yeah.
They were close. To
Yeah.
capital.
Yeah. So,
They were definitely capitals,
so-
but they were listed in the order of of the states.
Right. Vermont,
Who's
Wyoming, Alaska, Delaware, North Dakota, Rhode Island, Hawaii, South Dakota, Montana, and New Hampshire are the top 10 who fill their toilets so much that they need to
That's-
Google how to unclog
Wait,
their,
so Vermont
their
is
shitter.
number one?
Vermont's
It's
number
got to
one.
be all that fish food.
Yeah.
That's like that 50 state song. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
Alabama,
50,
Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho.
Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan. That's
All right,
all
that's all
50.
of them. That's all.
Wow.
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 That's all the states.
I haven't thought about that song in like 30
Who
years.
did that?
It was like
My
something
choir teacher.
in like second grade.
Yeah. Bob Dylan wrote that at my summer camp, sitting under a tree,
Holding a bat.
He was holding a bat that he thought was a drum pad.
Right.
Pennsylvania.
Actually, they had a band class at my camp because of Bob Dylan. They started a thing.
I wonder if he
And-
gives any money to the camp, keeps it going,
Oh, yeah,
keeps that
maybe.
legend up.
Yeah.
All right, let's take another call. I think we have our special guest maybe standing by or not
Yeah,
standing by.
Steve is here.
Oh, let's talk to Steve.
Overwhelming fornication.
Sorry, shut up, you guys. I have to say it. I don't like to say the word shut up. But sometimes whoa, there he is.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you without a hat, maybe ever.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's work mode. I took my hat off for this special occasion.
You look
Thanks for
nice.
having me. No
You-
poopy, but thank you very much.
Yeah, does he look all right in the camera, Matt? Is he all
He
right?
looks great to me.
You look a little. You know who you look a little like right now?
We look a little like you and me. I've heard that
I
before.
appreciate that. I'm picking up this like Jeff Tweedy vibe from you.
Oh, yeah. No.
No?
He's he helped us out on Patriot.
Oh, really? Let's get into it.
Yeah, he let us record at his space in Chicago. So
Oh,
yeah,
he didn't write
he's-
those beautiful songs.
No, we didn't get that lucky.
Well, the songs
you.
in that show
Songs.
are beautiful.
Thank you.
Steve Conrad here on my show. First of all, as a new show that's just, I think it just started streaming today.
This morning.
Oh my God, are you nervous? How do you feel?
I get a little nervous when critics have it and the audience doesn't have it that period. But I think we're doing okay. It came out this morning, and I wouldn't watch it at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's
It's not that kind of show. It's not Sesame Street.
no, and we're still editing. I'm working on your musical number.
Oh, how's that going?
Oh, it's so fun. It's really great.
Well, listen, I think this is a full disclosure moment. I don't want to sound like this is an infomercial, because I do a voice on this new show. That's called Ultra City Smiths. That's coming out now on AMC. It's a very weird thing. This is a stop motion film noir show. How do you describe this show?
Well, I think we start with trying to be funny. So I guess I would call it a comedy first, but there are many different elements that we use to just create a basis on which we then try to be funny and entertaining. And yeah, one of those is to cinematically look like noir, and the show's a musical. And it is cast with baby dolls who are repurposed as adults. So it's an adult world, but the characters are elementally former baby dolls.
They're still essentially baby dolls.
Male pattern baldness on them, and beer bellies, and bad haircuts and bad teeth, and so they look like our friends and neighbors.
Now, was this show born out of the early days of the pandemic, where there was this like shutdown? Like, I think we're starting to see a lot of animation. We're starting to see a lot of things that could be done during the pandemic. Or did you have this idea in the back of your head for a while?
We've been working on it for a while, but it's always sort of been on the bench. It's painstaking, obviously, stop motion, and I just didn't have time to put the show together before this year. And then this year we had nothing but time.
Right.
So the stars aligned in that sense. I wish, obviously our lives could have all just remained normal, but we were able to make the show under those terms, which was unusual. Most of our friends were sidelined this long year, but I was able to keep our group together. And I try to work with the same group of technical people and the same actors. And so it was good.
You've got this like troupe of actors that are like the best, but also like you keep working with them.
Well, I do have a group that can I hope that I can say that of you next time, because we really do try to stick together.
You hear that, boys? We're going to be taking a little sabbatical as I go work with Steve Conrad on set. We're going to have to take a little break. Get Neil Hamburger back in here. You hear me?
I miss you.
I mean, I'll tell you, I've told this to you privately, but Patriot was a show that for whatever reason, there's a lot out there, you know this, You hear things, you go, I can't watch this right now. I don't know what this is. And then I think it was over really fairly, like, as the pandemic was starting, I'd get somebody, I think it was Adam McKay had just said how much he loved it or something. And I go, all right, let's dive in. And it quickly became one of my favorite things ever. Like,
thank you, Tim, very much.
And people feel that way about it. I know I'm not alone.
I love it very much.
No, I sure appreciate that.
But I want to ask you just a couple of things about that show. First of all, Matt, can you play the monologue for Steve here? Hopefully he can hear it. Listen to this. Listen to this bit of writing. Hold on 1 second. No, I took Matt for a loop here.
Let's give you field 4. Should have covered some of this ground in Luxembourg, but you fucked that up. But they're still on the hook. Now, don't overpromise this week. Sell them on the structure. You can talk about it with confidence. Keep it simple. Little something like this, John. Hey, let me walk you through our Donnelly nut spacing and crack system rim riding grip configuration. Using a field of half-C sprats and brass-fitted nickel slits, our bracketed caps and splay-flexed brace columns vent dampers to dampening hatch steps of 1/2 meter from the damper crown to the spur of plinth. How? Well, we bolster 12 husk nuts to each girdle jerry, while Flex Tandems press a task apparatus of 10 vertically composited patch amplers. Then pin flam-fastened pan traps at both maiden apexes of the gym joints. A little something like that, Lakeman.
Yeah, thank you.
First of all, there's a lot of that in the show. That's not the only time that kind of happens. Is that...
Well, I should point out, Tim, that if that scene works, it's largely attributable to Kurtwood, who he's one of America's greats. But he had to do that in a single take. We weren't going to cover it, so he had to have an efficiency with that. That dialogue.
That's what I wanted to ask: is how does he wrap his head around that? And
well, I gave it to him about a month before, and he just put in the hours. It's funny. I wrote a film that had a similar kind of demand on a scene, and I realized they were going to cover it, and I thought, well, once you cover it, it loses all of its magic. And
yeah, because it's a performance. You want to the audience wants to feel like they're on the tightrope with the actor.
Yeah, and I lost that fight then, and it's one of the reasons I just decided to shoot my own stuff from now on.
First of all, is any of that? Is
any
of that based on anything?
I sat next to a guy in a plane once, and
no, I mean just like the terminology. But go ahead.
I think a plinth is something. But
so
that's the only thing in there.
The rest of it's jibber jabber.
Yeah, I sat next to a guy on a flight, and I sort of peeked over at what he was working on. He's just a business guy, and he was working on a piece of paper that had words like that, and it was all Greek to me. And I had instant compassion for him. I thought, wow, you don't dream about doing this when you're a kid. He's doing this to just make a living. And I don't know. He won me over with that kind of, the walk of his life really won me over. So I thought, well, if this guy takes that too seriously, he'd be a pretty good adversary for the main character.
And you did you in Patriot? There's a book that character's written. That's like the Bible for that piping world. And you've turned that into a podcast where is it like an audiobook of that book?
It's an audio recording of the book, and Kurtwood reads it. So Kurtwood continues to play this character, and Amazon doesn't know about it. I'm not allowed to do that, obviously. So we're going to go as long as they'll...
What are they going to do? What are they going to... no one knows anything. No one cares.
Bezos will land his spaceship at your house and shut that audiobook down.
Well, we'll see, but we're going to keep going until they pull the plug on us.
I mean, why would they? So that show, would you say that show is canceled?
I think it was wrapped up. We had an indication from the studio that we weren't going to have the chance to go beyond 2.
Right.
So I knew that before we started a film 2, essentially. So.
Oh, you did? Because I don't feel like it. I mean, it feels like it could go. I mean, obviously, it feels like I wanted to watch more of that show.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I would have made one more. my brother's character, Dennis, I hope this isn't too inside baseball for everybody, but my
If it
brother's
is, fuck him.
Okay, well, Dennis was going to be responsible for getting that bag of money to Iran. So Dennis was his wish of being a spy was gonna be fulfilled in Tariq.
Oh, well, he's one of the great characters ever. And then he did another show. I'm not doing a whole retrospective here, but Perpetual Grace Limited. That's also fucking great.
Thanks.
It's on Stars.
It's on Epics. It might as well be.
Yeah. Sorry. But what's great about these two shows and this new show is it seems like there's places out there giving you like ample resources to make some pretty out there, weird, challenging television. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff like that out there.
Well, the way that works is we're able to get a cast that makes it a little easier for the studio to say yes to the stuff we're working on. And the way I think that works is I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the cast just likes the good day's work. Or if the material is challenging to their set of talents, they're really happy to be engaged in something that's slightly unusual.
Well, there's very little opportunity to do like interesting work, I would think, for most actors, right? There's a lot of, there's not a lot out there of the good stuff.
Yeah, and then we just got to know each other, and then we became friendly, and then it was on a show like you're performing in Ultra City Smiths. There's really nothing in it for the cast. There's no pay. And you got to leave your house and go to work. And I think they just do it because we have all formed a relationship over this stuff that I hope we are able to sustain.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry.
Are you leaving? Are you quitting?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
There's somebody
Thank
quitting
you so
right
much.
in front of us.
And
this is terrible.
I'll see you in the
Fuck you. I don't know what's going on, man. It's just taking a bathroom break, right, Matt? Okay, there you go. Very disruptive, mostly on me, because I could have just let that happen in the background. I didn't need to bring any attention to it.
She had a keyboard on her lap, so.
Yeah, she did make it was very distracting. And it ruined my interview with you, in my opinion.
Let's try we can pick it back up.
You're in Chicago. That's where Doug's from. He's actually from Naperville, but.
Not.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a little company here, so we were able to write the stuff here.
So how do you manage to? This is inspiring. I think you managed to have a successful, ongoing career in television and film, and you're staying in Chicago. Is that people look at you like you're nuts, or is it because you don't see a lot of that?
Yeah, I think it helps. I find it hard to be creative in Los Angeles. I think due largely to having everybody has to work so hard in this business. Your associations just become the people you work with generally, and you're lucky if you happen to like them too.
Yeah.
But if that is the extent of your set of relationships, your writing can start to be a little narrow.
Yeah.
And living here, it helps me to, I think, be able to access the lives of my friends and neighbors in a way that I think allows the work to, as ambitious as we get with our writing, I hope at the end of the day that people relate to it. And I think living here helps me write stuff that is relatable.
Well,
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. Doug's got a question for you.
Do you live in a church?
Yeah, this is an old church where we have our offices. So it's a rehab church.
That's
stained glass. I have a pulpit.
Oh my God.
This is where you dictate your commands to your staff?
Yes, well, yeah, I can overlook the guys as they're working.
I mean, you do come across kind of as like a jerk, like your energy is like, seem like a bad guy.
Did you get the gift I sent you?
Yeah, I did. I just got it yesterday. I was annoyed because I was hoping it wouldn't come and I could razz you about it, but it did arrive.
No, I am a man of my word.
I appreciate it.
I hope you didn't have it already.
I don't. It's this beautiful giant, it's huge. It's a giant book of Beatles gear. It's called Beatles Gear, and it's the most exhaustive thing I've ever seen. Where it's like every pick that they ever had, every amp, all the different guitars, and
It's nuts.
yeah, it's really cool.
The cool thing about you realize in the early days they were just playing on like club gear.
Yeah,
just cheapest stuff.
Something I did not
Anyway.
realize, and this is a nerd, this is in the weeds nerd, inside baseball shit, but the famous Rickenbacker guitar that Lennon played in the first years, the black Rickenbacker, is actually his old natural wood Rickenbacker that he just painted black. I always thought it was a whole new different guitar. So I'm learning things every day.
Right.
Well, I'm going to ask you to go and get back to work and ask you to keep being creative and brilliant.
Okay, I'm gonna finish your scene today.
Oh, man.
The big Tim he has knocked out of the park our super finale song. It's a real.
I can't believe it. And it was so hard. You guys wrote this musical theater number that
It's hard to
I can
find
sing
like-
okay, but like this was like a true challenge.
Yeah,
But-
it's like Disney bad guy song.
Yeah, Disney bad guy son. What's this?
Well, I'll
Paint It
clip
Black.
it off and I'll send it to
Painted
you.
black.
These guys are good. They're
Yeah,
playing
very
Paint It
good.
Black by the Rolling Stones because I said that they painted the game.
Hey.
That's pretty smart. You got to admit. These guys are
Pretty
clever
good.
too.
Quick, too. Okay, hey, thanks for having me, Tim.
Yeah,
very
thank
much.
you, Steve. And I hope to see you in person one day. We've actually never, well, we did meet backstage in Chicago at a Tim and Eric show, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah, way back. But I'll take you up on that. Next time I'm out there, we'll get a hang in.
Cool, man.
Stay well, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye,
Good
guys.
luck with the show. That's
Thank you.
Ultra City Smiths on the AMC network. They also make cars.
Oh, nice.
You ever have an AMC vehicle?
I only had a Rickenbacker.
Rickenbacker cars.
Rickenbackers.
Oh man, have you ever seen Patriot?
No.
Oh my God,
I need
come
to
on.
see it.
You gotta watch that show.
Is it really on Stars Network?
No, that's on Amazon, so
Oh,
anybody
okay.
can watch it.
I'm
I
gonna
bet all
watch
these
it.
people. I bet all these people making fun of Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
I bet all these people making fun of Jeff Bezos are right on there going to Amazon.com for all their needs. Right?
Yeah. Do you realize Bezos means kisses?
Say that again.
Bezos means kisses. I realized the other day.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that
in
weird?
Spanish or what?
Really?
Yeah. Bezos.
Well,
Right?
what can we draw
It's a little
from that? What can we
fun
get from that?
fact.
Well, if you were doing stand up right now, where would you take that thought? Where would you
Okay,
take
where would
it?
I take that spot? That thought. He's delivering kisses to space so that he can.
Okay.
I failed. I failed.
What's his first name? Hershey's?
What's his first name?
Hello.
Jeff Bezos.
Wait, I've got one.
He's.
I've got one.
Yeah.
Doug, check this out.
Okay.
So they have Hershey's, right? What about he's?
Uh-huh. Him, he.
What's,
I like that.
You know, I love all the
Hershey's,
politically
him, he.
correct, politically correct thing. They have these woke people out there going Hershey's. I'm thinking, what is it? Chocolate time?
I do not shampoo my hand.
What's that? Not funny to you, Vic?
That's very funny. I was just trying to.
Jeff
cue up my
kisses
laugh.
what? What's his middle name?
He kisses the ground that his money walks on. I tell
Jeff
you that
kisses
Jeff
whoever he
Bezos was
wants.
already for that.
Jeff-
Jeff Bezos was already for criticism, handing out $100 million checks as soon as he got back. You see that, Vic?
I
Right.
did not.
You didn't see this?
No. was
for-
handing out
is this
checks?
Real? I
They
thought this was a
bury
joke.
the good news, ladies and gentlemen, because no one wants to feel good.
Wow.
They want to feel shit.
Who'd he get? Who'd he get the 100 million?
Well,
to?
he gave it to two people. He gave $100 million to Van Jones. You know Van Jones?
from CNN.
Mm-hmm.
What? What?
No.
Yes.
Come on.
Kisses.
What?
This did not happen. For what?
Well, because Van Jones has charities, or he's got like organizations.
I
and
thought it
stuff.
was
All right,
just
well,
like,
there we go.
Van,
That's-
buy what you want.
Not just no.
It's
He gave it.
It's charity. It's
Right.
not necessary.
He gave it to Van Jones to do with it what to put it into his organizations, and then he gave it to
Van Morrison.
Fox News. Somebody at Fox News.
Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
He gave it to Jose Andreas, I think is his name, the chef.
I don't know.
It's basically these two guys that are always on CNN. So I think Bezos is working up a CNN play.
I also
Let's see.
want to thank every Amazon employee and every Amazon customer because you guys paid for all this.
The Earth is so teensy.
I know. Well,
Yeah,
Vic,
isn't that the
Vic, do you have
best?
your clip? This
Oh,
is
yeah, I
Vic.
can-
Oh.
I wonder if he peed in a
Hey, Chris
bottle up
says-
in space like his drivers do.
Mean.
Right.
Doug, that's
That would
mean.
have been my stand-up routine, and I would have got
Wait,
a
what
big
was-
laugh.
Like Jeff Bezos. Half hour later.
doing, and I was like, I'm doing okay. Pretty intense. I'm doing okay. So you're just looking out, and that was probably the most profound thing, was looking at the Earth's atmosphere and seeing how teensy it is.
Is he close with his brother?
What does he mean?
It's life-sustaining and teensy. You look
Are
at
they
this
close
thing
to
and you
him,
see how
or-
small you are. You see that
They
the
look a
world
lot
is
alike.
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
You see the atmosphere is small and teensy. You know, this world is
Teensy.
full of...
But what does he
it's
mean
weird.
by that? Pause that for a second. What does he
It's
mean
just-
by looking at the
teensy.
Earth's atmosphere
And then-
teensy?
Yeah.
Like, atmosphere is invisible, more like.
Right.
So what is he saying? What is he looking at? What is he
Everything
talking
he
about?
said was
Clouds
very
around
like
the-
fourth grade. Like he also said, "I wish I would have flipped around more."
Yeah.
You say so.
really? Oh, I
That's
didn't
your
hear that.
that's your review of space. Is that you wish you would?
Right. He wants to bring everybody together in one union.
Yeah.
Like
But
he's,
but imagine if I just did that all the time. But
But I like to tell them apart though. They had to stick a big cowboy hat on the one because they do look exactly
Right. To tell
On the one.
on the one Bezos brother.
that hat was way too
It was
big.
way too big.
It was a floppy big
Yeah.
hat. My question is like, what is he talking about? Because the Earth didn't look teensy because
Right.
he wasn't that far up. He was just
Yeah,
looking like it looks like
right.
we're in a plane.
Right.
He's like, I could
Right.
really see clouds from up there. You could see. It was almost like you're above the clouds. That's what he was thinking. The clouds
Right.
look so small. But someone tell me how far up he was, because he wasn't in space. Let's just stop saying he was in space.
Oh.
Even the Guardian says,
they
for
all
our
go-
own sakes, let's hope Jeff Bezos' space trip is just a midlife crisis. He didn't go to space, Guardian. What is space? What is the definition of space?
Where there's no, where you
Right.
can't
What is this-
breathe.
It reached
Right?
it reached the edge of space at an altitude of more than 65 miles.
So the edge of space. If I went down to the
There's weightlessness.
Mexico border and stood there,
Right.
and I didn't go over this border, I wouldn't say I went to Mexico. Would I?
It says that
I might.
it's the weightlessness.
I might lie about
It got out
Wait,
of
I was done, I was
gravitational.
done.
Yeah, you went to it, but not into
It got where there's no gravity, I guess, is what it means.
I
Right?
don't know.
It's just like
I'm
their
Team
whole
Jeff.
experience. You could have done
Uh-oh.
it with
I
like a
bet we're offline.
simulation or something. You know?
I bet we just went offline.
Oh.
I did at least.
Okay, I'm ready to do
Wes?
my act now. I just kidding.
Wes, can you? Are we still broadcasting?
I think we're.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's down here too.
Sorry, folks. We're apparently still broadcasting.
We lost our Zoomers and we lost our computers.
shit.
It's
I think Bezos was
sending a message.
sending a
Heard ya.
message. Yank, yoink. I have controversial thoughts on this.
Are we offline right now?
We're not offline.
Oh, okay, I'll save it then. Just kidding. I'll save my real thoughts on Bezos.
My controversial thoughts. I wonder if somebody upstairs turned something off. Could be. My thoughts on. I do think there's something There is something to leaving the planet and finding and exploring the solar system and colonizing planets and all that stuff. I think we do have to start doing that. I just don't like it that it's these individuals.
Right, it's Amazon.
Privately
It's
financed.
not like mom and pop stores are going to be going up there and like it's all going to be Amazon, and then we're only going to rely on Amazon to make stuff.
It's not going to be 99 cents and up.
Right, not going to be finding that there.
But there's no question, I think, that as a species, the long play is to continue the species by traveling beyond our planet. I mean, that's just the fact. So it has to start somehow. Maybe it starts with this asshole, and then he, gets killed.
Okay.
In a fiery explosion.
I think we got to clean up what's down here.
This is the first
You
time
can
I
do
ever heard him
both,
talk.
baby.
Like,
Why are you making it
We're only
and/or?
doing that. We're not doing.
Well, we got to do both.
We're at the point of no return with this. With the, I don't want to bring it down, but
No.
it doesn't look good for the environment.
Well, then we got to get off planet. Maybe we should,
Okay.
we got to get to a new planet.
No, we could.
Well, you just said we're past the point of no return.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. Maybe there's something we could do, but it's not gonna. It just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen.
Wes, what's the status on that other network? Unplugged it. Do you want to run up there and investigate? I'll tell you what to do.
Or you want me to?
Yeah. Do you know where that switch is? Behind my bedroom door.
Are there kids up there running around unplugging stuff?
There are. Just kidding. What if I went in the main house? I'm like, oh yeah, they're all doing great.
Behind my bedroom doormat, there's a light switch that if you want to do a full reset, it would be that. But that might be more trouble. So, how are you?
I'm ready. I'm good.
Are you working on something right now,
No.
professionally?
No, just this.
What?
Just the act I'm scared to do on camera.
You had a character that you were thinking about doing.
Oh yeah, I wanted to. Well, I have noticed that people are going. You guys are rock stars for getting through this. Like for getting through the pandemic. They're like, you guys are rock stars. Like, do you even know? Like, the fact you even cracked that open door, you're a rock star. Like, if they even showed up this morning, you even are holding it. Like, the fact you even put that visor on, Vic, you're a rock star. Tim, you're a badass.
This is a disturbing
I
person.
gotta say, you're a badass. Like, the fact you even woke up this morning, put on a mask, like the fact that you got through this pandemic, like that you got through it, you're here and you're like, you're in this room. Okay, because you woke up, right? You woke up this morning.
What are you doing, Vic? Are you producing? Oh.
Great, now it's gone.
I'm trying to take
it's
Matt's
gone.
job as he's not here.
Well, but he's not controlling that anymore.
is it?
It's like there's a whole department.
You're a rock
doing
star.
that.
What's Matt doing
Even
then?
though you did that, so you made a mistake, but you're still a badass. And you're still a rock star, and you're a badass. The fact that we as a country went through this, you have to give yourself credit. Like, you are a rock star.
Fair enough, yeah.
You have to.
I
You
do,
can't
I
just be
do.
like, oh yeah, that was nothing. That was something. Like, the fact that we did that was just something.
Is this based on someone real?
Doug, don't ever ask that
You're a
question
rock
to
star?
a. Don't ever ask that question
Even
to an
the fact
actor.
that you had that thought, like, think of where that even came from. Like, the fact that you went that deep down, and you're thinking about other
You know
people.
what? I
You
don't-
think about
You're
other
being
people.
too nice. I'm not a rock star.
You care about essential workers and other people. Did your
Well, what's your story?
essential
What was your experience? Because you seem to be really
Well-
interested in other people.
My experience during all of it was.
Oh, I was actually asking the character, but
my
Are
You're
you a
like,
rock star?
Let's get that regular. I'm a rock star right now. I'm trying to practice self-care. Like as much self-care as possible.
How do
Like
you
I
do
will take up. I want to feel like I want to feel like I've been knocked unconscious with a bath bomb. That's someone, and now
Right.
I'm just drowning in self-love for myself.
But what do you work or do you do? I mean, what do you do?
My whole thing right now is helping out the community. So what I'll do is I'll go home and I have I chop fruit for people.
Oh, nice.
I learned how to make cut out the inside of strawberries, like fill them with chocolate chips, and I pass those out to the community.
That's what community? Just your
Just
neighborhood?
the community.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm doing my part because
Yeah.
what we went through is a big deal. And you guys are all rock stars.
Do you make money doing that? Like, how do you sustain?
It's all part of the community. I also I have to wear a lot of hats to protect myself from the sun because I'm going door to door all the
Oh my
time.
God.
And so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll tell people, it's like a basic kind of khaki hat. And I'll say, if you want one of these hats, you don't have to, but you can go to my website. And that money all goes back to the community.
Do you make money doing it? I don't understand. Still don't understand how. Do you have a job?
It's all about community.
Yeah, I hear that.
A
but
lot of what
are
I
you
do-
married?
A lot of what I do, I was married, and there was actually kind of a tragic accident that happened within the community. And part of what I'm doing is trying to heal that wound in my community, and bring people together. Ultimately.
Yeah. Well, how's that going? Are people
I feel
coming
like
together?
I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
Vic, are you part of the community?
Oh, I'm part of it. Yeah, I'm big time.
I'm
into it.
part of her
community?
I'm part of the Rockstar
It's
community.
a community.
Yeah, I'll be part
He's
of
a
it.
rock star.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Vic
Vic's great.
Vic
We
is a
love
rock
Vic.
star for sure. Vic, you were a rock star through this whole pandemic. The fact that you went door to door, you got on your bike.
Who did? Vic went door to door? About what?
Vic
was
was
that me?
door to door. Vic was door to door.
I was, yes, I was.
Did you bang pots and stuff for the essential workers?
Every night at 8 p.m. Every night at 8 p.m. I actually some nights I would go around at 7:59.
Wow.
Telling people.
Yeah, reminding them.
Start getting the pots ready.
So are you optimistic about, I know there's lots of talk about the Delta variant and everything coming in.
No, I think we have to band together.
Okay.
I really do. I really think we are not messing around
What
here.
did you think of the whole Trump thing? Were you a Trump hater?
No, like, I'm really scared. I felt like he did a lot of gaslighting. There was a lot of gaslighting. Me and my neighbors, we were all thought, is what we're hearing the truth?
Okay.
Or is this another fake news report? And there was just so much confusion at the time, and we were all in just such a state of despair. It's
So
gonna
you're
take a
like
lot.
kind of part of the resistance. Would you consider yourself part of the resistance?
It's gonna take a lot of healing to get back, for sure, for sure, definitely. But we together.
Should they
we
be
can
held
do it.
accountable, some of those people from the Trump administration?
Absolutely, and that's part of what I'm doing as part of the community.
Are you pro-vaccine?
I did get a vaccine, yes.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I got Johnson & Johnson, and then I went back for the Moderna booster last week. I went back for the
Let me give you a
booster.
small micro note on your character. It would be you'd say J&J. You would not say Johnson & Johnson.
Okay, thank you.
As you continue to develop the character.
As I continue to develop for all of us, and it's not just for me.
What are we doing, guys? Are we back?
We're back, and
I think we've been back for a while.
Oh. I sound like Jeff Bezos in my lap. Ha ha ha! How is it, Vic? Ha ha ha!
It is.
I can't sign back into Zoom though because.
I can give you our next guests are here.
Please do.
Mollly and Jules.
Well, I think that's a terrific character. I like a character being born in front of our very own eyes.
In it. Okay, good. I need a name for her.
That's good.
No, I don't.
Mollly and Jules, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Sorry we had. Hey, Molly, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be on office hours.
Well, the pleasure's all mine.
The finest program.
We were just having some. You can see I'm a little distracted, tense, stressed. We had some technical issues, and it's just the infrastructure of which they ask so much of us. Do connect to everybody via internet, and then it doesn't work sometimes. You figure, what are these people doing? What are they doing?
I thought it was just a little moment of silence. I thought we were all just taking a moment.
We need a moment of silence. But you are here to talk about not the Olympics that are happening right now, but I'd be curious to also hear about what you think of the Olympics going on right now and if they should be going on. What the fuck is going on over there? But now we're looking ahead because the Olympics are coming to Los Angeles in 4 years. Is it 4 years?
It is more than it's coming up. It's 2028.
Oh, then forget about it.
Yeah.
We don't need to worry about that.
It's so far away.
Yeah.
Well, let me toss it to our friend Jules Boykoff to tell us a little bit about why the Olympics are bad always.
Yes.
Now,
I've had this.
the future.
Jules, welcome to the
forever.
show. And you're an expert because you are an Olympian.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Really happy to be here. And yeah, I did play for the U.S. Olympic soccer team in international matches back in the day, and also now study the Olympics in a more formal way as a political scientist. So yeah, I definitely have noticed some real patterns with the Olympics over the years, and the main ones are overspending, where they say that they're only going to cost X billion dollars, and they end up costing a whole lot more. Think of Tokyo's original bid for $7.3 billion. Now it costs more like $30 billion. There's also the militarization of public space. Essentially, we have police forces using the Olympics like their own private cash machine, getting all the weapons and special laws they'd never be able to get during normal political times that then become part of normal policing afterwards. You also have gentrification and displacement that come with the games every single time. And finally, you have greenwashing with the Olympics, where they talk a big environmental game, but don't actually follow through. And we're seeing all those patterns that social scientists have identified over the years in place in Tokyo. And so they might seem like Tokyo problems happening under pandemic conditions, but they're actually Olympic problems. And that's why I think it's great to have this conversation with people in Los Angeles right now, because we still have time to think about these games and whether you actually want them.
How do you stop this train, though? I mean, it feels like it's such, it's almost, it's part of our culture. I'm with you. I kind of turned on the Olympics the last few times because of the negative impact on the cities. But how do you stop it? It feels like just this immovable avalanche that just.
Well,
what do we do?
We have a group in LA called NOlympics LA, and we're actually doing an event tomorrow at Stories bookstore in Echo Park, where Jules is going to read, kind of talk about some of these things. But you can see right now with Tokyo is a great example of why the Olympics suck, actually, because now is a time when it would make perfect sense to like cancel the Olympics, because COVID is totally booming in Japan. People aren't vaccinated there. People in Japan do not want the Olympics. 80% of people are against it, but they're happening anyway. And this is like one of the times when it seems like it would just make perfect sense to cancel it, because it is gonna fuck things up so badly. But the International Olympic Committee, what they have decided to do is double down and then double down on doubling down. So they are going forward with the Olympics. Just 100 terrible things have happened as that has been rolling out. Maybe Jules can list a few of the fucked up things that have happened in Tokyo so far.
Yes, please do, Jules.
Sure. Well, like Molly said, 80% of the population in Japan do not want the Olympics this summer. And yet the International Olympic Committee is ramming ahead. And I think that's really where we should be targeting a lot of our focus, is the International Olympic Committee, because they are the ones and the only ones that have the power to cancel these Olympics, just like they're the only ones that get to cancel the Los Angeles Olympics if something similar happens in 2028. And so we're also seeing in Japan where the vaccination rate is below 25%. And I think that accounts for some of the disgruntlement with hosting the games. Right now, we're seeing a surge in cases inside of the Olympic Village. Athletes are having their Olympic dreams shattered and sent home early. And it's just become an absolute, shit show. So, and I think it goes all the way to the beginning, is what I would also like to point out. It's not just all of a sudden a COVID thing, actually. The Olympics were based on what we might call a double lie, because the Prime Minister of Japan stood up in front of the International Olympic Committee back in 2013 and said that everything was under control, quote unquote, after the triple whammy earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear meltdown that happened in Fukushima in 2011. That was not true. Any self-respecting biologist in Fukushima would tell you that was not under control. And, I went there with a bunch of people from NOlympics LA, the group that Molly mentioned, in 2019. We talked to a lot of people who said things were not under control. The other lie was they're calling these Olympics the quote unquote recovery Olympics. And it's anything but. They've actually diverted resources from Fukushima to Tokyo to get ready for the Olympics. So if you go to Fukushima, you're going to meet a lot of really angry people. And that anger is definitely spilled over to Tokyo, where people are livid. There's
people
protests
are furious because, it just shows. It's like all the things the Olympics spends $1 billion advertising themselves as being. It's like, we bring people together and we celebrate the greatness of the human spirit. It's like, well, if you cared about the athletes, you wouldn't make them expose themselves to COVID in a country where people aren't vaccinated and bring people from all over the world to probably create a new Olympics variant.
Let me ask you this as a slight, just to be a little bit of a devil's advocate. The athletes themselves, these young people who have, found themselves on a track towards, maybe it's track, maybe it's shot put, maybe it's fencing. What is there for them in your vision of a no Olympics world? Like, is that how do you let those people have
I think we see this with all of the sports leagues, with the NFL and FIFA and everything. It's like the athletes get exploited, right? And they're we're told that it's like because they're so great, we're celebrating them, but they don't make the money off of their
Right.
own labor like anything else. So there was a worker games one time. Our idea is like a worker owned games, which is the athletes own the operation, the athletes make the profit off of their own
Right.
labor instead of the people on the IOC, which is just like a who's who of ghouls.
Yeah,
Every
sure.
weird Austrian, oligarch you can think of. Henry Kissinger.
Mitt
is on
Romney,
the IOC.
wasn't Mitt Romney on the head of he ran the Salt Lake City.
Every bad person you could think of, and they're all just like they've been slipping on banana peels left and right this week, especially.
So is there a way to reform the Olympics where you?
No, they can't be reformed.
No.
That's why it's no Olympics. It's got to be something else.
Can I
it's
offer
just
a couple ideas?
I have
Wait,
an idea.
everybody
Doug,
has
what do you got?
ideas.
Yeah, Doug, let's hear it.
Can they do it on Zoom? I mean,
honestly,
I am joking, but like, as I said it, I'm thinking, well, why not? Each
some
performer is
gymnastics
in their
would work that
respective
way.
country,
Yeah.
and they're doing it on the same track, and it's like there's somebody there making sure it's the same conditions or something.
I
Maybe
mean,
not.
that makes a lot more sense to me. Jules, what do you think?
But I have another idea too.
Oh, yeah. Give me your other idea.
Why don't we designate some place on Earth and just make, somewhere like
No, I
Israel
like
where they
that.
can't figure out what to do with it. Just get all those
Maybe
people
that's
out of
not the
there.
best
Send
choice,
those
but-
people
Well, then-
elsewhere. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah,
Because
but
it's
that's
like take some cities.
That's not a good. That's not a bad idea. Let me just expand on that
All right.
and
Like
vocalize
Olympics
it more
Island or
clearly.
something.
Yeah, you have an Olympic community that is always there. That's fair and
Yeah, you just fly into the same
and it's
place.
almost like a Xanadu.
Exactly.
It's an international city. Come on, we can do that, can't we?
What if it's like one sport is in Mexico and then gymnastics is in Israel and bobsled is in, and you go to
Jamaica.
I was gonna say Jamaica, yeah, the John Candy film, and every sport is like all around the world at the same time at existing.
Great idea.
Like
another great idea.
You know what I mean? Like
we can fix this together, folks.
Right there it is.
I'm going to give this one to Jules because he's got the info.
Well, recently I had the good fortune of debating mano a mano with the longest serving member of the International Olympic Committee, a guy who is called Dick Pound, actually. And some of these ideas were floated, and he was asked, well, what about some of these ideas for like maybe having them in one place or rotating among cities? The Xanadu thing didn't quite come up, but he was not interested at all. Like it was a non-starter. And I think that's what I think Molly's getting at here with the IOC is if you want to try to reform the Olympics, you have to at this point go through the IOC, and they show zero interest in changing the game, even in
Right.
COVID.
Right.
Because the point of the IOC is to extract capital from host cities.
Right.
It is like a traveling carnival that comes into town and is like, hey, we got the athletes.
And then
we
everyone's
got
bidding,
the...
right? All the different countries are fighting over like the 2022 or whatever. Right? Like,
Yeah, but again, it's like who is it benefiting? It's mostly people that are trying to like flip real estate in a city.
I was
So
going to
it's all
ask you, like,
basically-
how do we follow the money? Who's actually profiteering off all this? Is it?
That's the IOC, and that's why they won't cancel it. Because then they'd have to front the money that Japan. They'd be on the hook for billions of dollars, and that's why they won't cancel it.
So is there
even
like
though
a
it's going to be.
Is there like a
rights
skim
disaster.
going? Is there like are they skimming off the like how are they making money off?
They just get paid a lot
Right.
to be there, I believe. And it's a spin-off. The Olympics, the modern Olympics, are a spin-off of the World's Fair, which was also kind of like a traveling carnival grift where
Right.
it comes to a city and it's like, we're going to promote the city.
Yeah.
We had the Olympics in Los Angeles in 1932, which was like in the middle of the Great Depression. So that was like extremely similar to now in a lot of ways. There were like Hoovervilles, like encampments everywhere.
Right.
And rather than deal with the encampments and housing people and all the stuff they needed to do, they were like, let's promote Los Angeles to the world as like a sun-soaked paradise and spend all this money on putting palm trees everywhere and having the Olympics. So I come from my family has like some Olympics-based history also, which is that my grandmother was a German high jumper who is Jewish, and she was supposed to be on the 1936 German Olympic track and field team. And then they booted her off at the last minute because she was a Jew.
Why?
So
though? What did the Germans have? What was the issue with her being Jewish?
I mean, they also kept her on for a long time, being like, do we need to keep a Jew on the team so that like the world won't boycott, the world won't see that we're like getting
ready. At the last
to...
minute, they yanked her?
Yeah, they yanked her and they said, oh, it's because you're not a good enough athlete, which was bullshit, you know, and...
Terrible.
And then, and also nobody boycotted and the world let the, you know, the Berlin Olympics happen. Yeah, let Hitler have these like this big propaganda spectacle. So I think I've always thought about like, what is the Olympics? It's really just a big propaganda spectacle for nationalism from all the countries of the world.
I do
that
think
seems
that's
bad.
Yeah, that's one of my root issues of it. It does sort of, in a sort of outwardly sort of on the surface friendly way, the idea of, you know, nations getting together and competing against each other, but. And we should be thinking beyond nations and that nationalism, because that just is one step away from, you know, getting into wars, I think. When you have just this pride in your country, that stuff is such junk. It's so corrosive.
Can I offer a devil's
I'm
advocate
sorry.
idea for that?
Yeah, let's hear it, Doug.
Maybe we need sports and stuff like this prevents wars because it's a way for
no evidence of that, pal.
People, it's
been a pretty war-y time.
Well, there'd be more war if people didn't, if all these people didn't get it out on the court.
Well,
I mean, just the whole idea of
All their
sports,
rage.
and especially with the Olympics, the whole idea of like, you know, the greatest athletes in the world and their bodies are a perfect watch. It's like, it's all pretty fascist. And the guy who founded the Olympics was a eugenicist.
Cool.
Just, you know, and so I think we've been seeing that also recently with a lot of the like anti-Black stuff that the Olympics have been doing. People are sort of like, oh, this isn't about the greatest athletes in the world. It's about like who the IOC wants to represent as these athletes.
Right. Well, for short term, I think people can basically, I mean, the easiest thing to do is just probably not watch them.
Yeah, I mean,
we all get lazy. We're like, oh, watch the
don't-
Olympics, I guess.
No, it's fine
Boring.
if you watch them. That's the thing. It's like a lot of people who are against the Olympics also like consume it on TV. And obviously we live in a weird, fucked up world where, you know, Jeff Bezos controls everything with his weird little laugh. But but yeah, we're looking to try and stop them from coming to Los Angeles. The people who brought them to Los Angeles, there was no vote on it. People didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah.
This just happened in Brisbane, Australia too, where they rushed it through without asking anyone in Australia if they want this.
Right.
But the people who brought it to Los Angeles are Eric Garcetti, the mayor, who is already leaving town, I think, forever. He's being run out on a you know,
What is he going to be,
board.
the ambassador to Greece or something like that?
Ambassador to India.
India.
Another place that's having total, you know, crisis with COVID. And of course, he totally fucked up the COVID crisis here. So they send him somewhere else where it's fucked up. To
Yeah,
fuck
that
it
guy
up
seems
more.
like a rat.
But the other person who brought it is this guy, Casey Wasserman, whose name we like to say because he's kind of like a behind the scenes guy, but he's a big sports agent. He's the grandson of Lou Wasserman.
Oh, yeah, the guy that ran
super
Universal.
agent. Yeah. And Casey Wasserman, he's a money guy, you know, a sports money guy. And he was also on the Epstein plane. So
interesting.
It's on the flight logs. Interesting.
He's on the flight logs. He went to Africa with Kevin Spacey.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris Tucker and Jeffrey Epstein.
That was a great trip. I was on that trip too.
Yeah. A boys' night out.
It was a lot of fun.
I mean, people can say what they want, but they can't take your memories away.
I also think, like, if we're talking about 2028, the Olympics in Los Angeles in August, it's going to be 123 degrees out.
Okay, so
when they try to do the long jump, or whatever it is.
I saw Eric Garcetti in person, and I confronted him to talk to him about that. And that was one of the things I said. I was like, hey, like, in 2028, it's going to be like 100,000 degrees outside. Like, we're not having any outdoor sports. And he was like, well, that's why I'm passionate about climate change. It's like, okay,
great.
You're checked out. You're gone.
The Olympics brought to you by Dasani bottles.
Yeah, I think the rest of us, I think even people that wouldn't think about this normally are grasping that it doesn't make sense. And we have so many issues in Los Angeles that we should be spending money on.
Yeah. Prioritize.
Yeah.
Let's get people housed. Let's fix the transportation situation. The housing situation. Everything's got. There's so many things that are way more important than that. Before you start talking about having all these people come in. Fuck them.
Right. Like we don't need tourism in Los Angeles, really.
No.
Like we have plenty of tourism. We're the entertainment capital of the world.
Can I offer another
And another
idea?
thing that
Okay, go. Wait, Molly, hold on. Doug's got one more
Team
idea.
up with
Oh yeah, Doug, let's hear it.
Amazon should team up with the Olympic Committee. Olympics in space.
Olympics in space.
Oh,
Think about how
yeah.
long that jump will be. How high those high jumps
Ooh,
will be.
Olympics
With
on
no
the moon would
gravity.
be- Yeah.
Think of all the space cops they can hire. Yeah, I mean, another reason we hate the Olympics is because they bring in 1 million more cops and militarize the police. And that's what happened in 1984 in Los Angeles, too. They used it as an excuse to bring in tanks, all of the stuff we kind of see now that you're like, why do we have tanks in Los
Right.
Angeles? It's like, because Daryl Gates was like, let's have tanks. It'll be great. So for 2028, they want to get 3,000 more LAPD and 500 more sheriffs.
Yikes.
So again, it's just like, what is this gonna make Los Angeles be like as a place? And does anyone in Los Angeles actually want that?
Okay, let's not make this a local issue. This is because we obviously have an international audience, but it is not only just about if you live in LA. It's not the kind of thing where if you don't live in LA, it doesn't matter. This is the opportunity. This is the time to take a stand. This is the moment. So everybody listening, do what I say, and stop these Olympics from coming to not my hometown. Let's be honest. Nobody's from here, but from Los Angeles.
I'm from here.
You're from here. Well, I'm just
I'm not a real person though. I don't count.
Go to actually it's NOlympics LA. I want to make sure people understand that. At NOlympics LA. And become a part of this movement. Now is when you get in. Not when they're like, oh, the Olympics are in LA next week? What the fuck? We better stop that. Too late! They've already kicked all the homeless people out to the desert.
Have you ever been threatened by the IOC in any?
Wasserman and his goons?
They like sending you calls, having people stop by your house. Not yet.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. So they're internet stuff, but we're doing this reading of stories tomorrow, and it'll be in the yard. Someone's stories is small. It'll be in the outside part, spilling out into the parking lot.
Where's this again?
Stories Bookstore in Echo Park.
Stories Bookstore in Echo Park. There will be a gathering, a rally for the NOlympics.
It's called an opening ceremony because tomorrow's
We
the
love
opening
wordplay
ceremony.
here. You know that. All right. Well, best of luck, and I'm with you. I've felt this way for a long time. I think it's you're on the right side of history here. Sorry, everybody. Some traditions have to be reevaluated, put on pause, restructured. I don't want to diminish any of these terrific young people who are trying to be the fastest swimmer. How cool would it be to be the fastest swimmer for a few years? And then you're not. Then somebody else is faster. Oh, well, that was my whole life. By the way, can I just make one? You know the lovely woman, the lovely young woman. I don't know, maybe girl, with the spelling bee, and she can do the dribbling and whatnot.
What?
You know about the woman that won the spelling bee? You know what I'm talking about, right,
dribbles
Molly?
and spells?
Yeah, she won a spelling bee, and she's going to be a basketball star.
Yeah, and she's like dribbling and everything. I just want to make sure we're not looking at some future documentary that we're going to find some, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking of the Tiger Woods documentary where you go, oh, look how cute this person is. They can do all this stuff. They're genius at it. And then you find out that they're like getting like tortured basically to do these things. So let's
No child athletes. I think that's no child athletes, no child actors.
No child actors. What are we doing with that? Well, I mean,
just kids working.
What about the Dennis the Menace reboot?
My idea is we replace all child actors with Martin Short as Clifford.
That's a fine idea, or we could do CGI too. There's no problem.
The dancing baby from Ally McBeal.
What about the kid from that commercial where he runs in going, "We won, we won, we won"?
Tim, can I mention one more problem with the Olympics that
please,
I've
Doug.
noticed? That
And I
no
wanna-
one's
by the way,
talking about this.
I want to thank my guests too, Jules too. I know you've just been sitting back thinking, what the hell is going on here, these idiots. But I want to appreciate you, you being an advocate for this. What is it, Doug?
Well, there's one major problem with the Olympics that no one's talking about. Okay, you got first place is gold, second place is silver, third place is bronze, but bronze is the superior medal.
Why?
It's harder. It's a better medal.
Is it
So
worth
they're
more?
valuing shininess over the superior. I was just saying they got those backwards.
Save
that's
it
all.
for your stand-up act, Doug.
No one's talking about it.
No one is talking about it for
no
good
one's
reason.
talking about the
I'm excited.
medals.
This will go when Doug flies to Tokyo to do Olympics Village stand up.
Should be like first place with the bronze medal is Michael Phelps. or
I feel
whatever.
bad for the guys that got the gold medal but then had it bronzed, so they don't ever
See?
Now there's a joke.
Exactly. They get it bronzed because that's the superior medal.
All right. We'll let you go. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah.
And
Have a great summer.
yeah, you too.
I'm not going to watch the Olympics. I don't like that advice you gave that you can watch it. I don't think you should be able to watch it.
I respect that. Well, how about you can watch it, but you can't enjoy it after I tell you the following fact, which is that the Nazis invented the torch relay.
Ooh, there you go. How dare you appreciate something the Nazis created? I'm never going to do
Right.
that. Great. Thanks, Molly. Thanks, Jules. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Look at
Great
that rock
segment.
star.
Great
Wow.
segment.
Wow.
I could talk about Olympics and sports
fun.
all day.
Sure you could.
Got a lot of ideas.
Okay.
How old are people? So every event you start young, but what about bobsledding?
Right.
What is that? What Dylan gets into in the winter? Bobsledding. Oh.
It's bobby sledding when you're a kid. You get these little mini ones. You start with a circle.
I get out on the hill. I go down in the snow. I hold on to the rope. I go fast. I'm bobsledding.
Some of those things are so dumb. It's like you're
Matt,
spinning
I'm off
around and
Zoom,
throwing a
so if you
disc
could,
through the air.
turn me on to a
It's like,
Zoomer.
that's not a
You guys
sport.
are rock stars.
There's some like ancient shit that doesn't
We'll wrap things
play
up here.
anymore. You know what I mean?
Brianna had a little
Throwing a
game, I
shot
think,
What's
put.
that thing on the ice?
Can you
and
guys
then,
hear
and
me?
then like they have the
Yes.
brush
Yes,
there?
hi Brianna.
That's
much better.
cool.
I know, it's
Quiet
cool.
now, you. Quiet.
What's that
bizarre
called?
sport.
Quiet, you.
What is that?
I got Brianna here. She
I
wants
took
to
off-
say hi.
I took off my Walt Rostow glasses because I didn't want to be beat up by Tim, and
Oh,
I wanted
God.
to align with the No Olympics. So I'm just gonna take those off. I can kind of see you a
Oh, no,
little
please,
bit.
please put your glasses back on. Everyone takes everything I do literally. Just kidding.
No, but they're the glasses that were worn by Walt Rostow. You know that guy. He was the security advisor for Johnson from '66 to '69.
Of
He was
course.
like integral and he's a terrible guy. So I feel like I look like I'm like interviewing to become a bad man.
Yeah, you're going to work for the State Department.
Yes. Okay. I have a game.
Oh, she's a
I'm
game.
cleaning up the house. Yes. I'm cleaning up the house. I went through some old yearbooks and I was really weirded out by my high school's superlative section. Were any of you awarded a superlative section in high school?
I'm not sure I understand.
Or
what that
superlative?
means.
You mean like the best?
Yeah,
the
voted.
best
Oh,
in
the
that?
best.
Yeah.
Most
I
likely.
was.
Like
Yeah.
best of or like most likely to? Yeah.
I was not. No.
I was.
Yeah.
You were not.
I was. What was yours?
What
Lizzie?
was
What was
it?
the question?
What was you were voted most something in high school?
I was voted most likely to succeed in comedy and drama.
That was a category?
There were two
Oh,
categories.
so it was a theatrical
yes. Yeah.
comedy
it was
and
like
drama.
Yeah, theatrical.
Did you get both of those or was
Yeah,
that
I got
combined?
both individually.
Well,
Dang.
I was voted I was awarded most unique. It's kind of mean.
Seriously?
Yeah. Kind of most. There was somebody else that got the funniest, but I got most unique.
I mean, like connotation is everything, right? Like unique could be a good thing. Is it a good thing only for like millennials now versus back in the day when you were
I
in
mean,
school?
I wore it as a point of pride.
Can I tell you what
Yeah.
mine was?
Yes, Vic,
I got.
that was the
Yes,
I was
please.
most low key fire.
Oh.
Wow. That's
What was
cool.
yours, Vic?
I was most musical, but also best smile.
cutie.
Listen, I have a list. I pulled the list from my high school yearbook. I wanted to ask you some of them, but I think I already know what the answers are. But I was going to say that I didn't want to include Lizzie in this like ranking system because it's not fair. She's so cute that she's going to skew the scale and she's going to like sweep the categories.
Interesting.
So
Lizzie, sounds like you're a hit today.
Really?
Apparently, according to Brianna here. Okay, what do you got?
okay. Best eyes of the Trinity. Who has the best eyes? And this is weird because you all have blue eyes, don't you?
Wow, how does she know that?
Oh, really? You're not hearing the guest?
Oh, you're not hearing the guest?
No.
Or do you have
I
headphones
thought it
on?
was intentional, so
Oh,
I wouldn't just be like this every 5 seconds.
Oh my God!
This whole time she hasn't been.
I haven't heard any
Are
of the
you
guests.
serious? A single
Yeah.
guest? Even
Yeah, I
the
thought
Olympics?
it was-
What is
I
going
thought it was
on here?
intentional. Like I'm supposed to be in a
maybe
sound
Oh my
booth.
God!
You got headphones right there.
Wait.
Oh, you don't have your
Oh my
headphones in?
God.
Jesus Christ.
Holy
no.
I thought these were ornamental.
Oh my
How
God!
I thought
strange.
these were decorative.
You haven't heard our drops either?
No.
Oh my!
What a weird show
Wow.
it must
You
have
did a
been
great
for you.
job.
So I'm talking to
Holy
Steve
shit.
Conrad. I'm talking to the Olympics people.
I know.
Holy cow.
I thought like we like to keep the guest and then.
Wow!
Wow.
Oh my god!
This is wild.
Well, it's gonna be
So
someone.
she didn't hear any of that, Brianna.
Used.
I think we're gonna have to save your game
Lizzie,
for.
put the one that says
Well, let's
R
save your
around
game
the
for
flag.
after hours. Okay, that's how we'll kick off
Okay.
after hours. Can you stand by for
Deal.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. This has been the Office Hours broadcast.
I heard you the first time.
I do want to say one more thing. If you are on the West Coast, anywhere on the West Coast, forget the Olympics. Come to the Office Hours live show. That is going to be at the Dynasty Typewriter. The late show is sold out. The early show, which begins at 5 o'clock Pacific, will be that. What date is that, Matt? August 24th?
Yes, early show, 5 p.m.
Yes, and that will be broadcast
Both will
as
be
a real show,
broadcast, right?
Both will be broadcast, but there are some seats. They're selling very quickly, but the early show, there are a few tickets left. Again, Office Hours East begins tomorrow night, and game night with the real Greg Turkington and the real Simone Turkington with a very special game that he's bringing. And your calls, and that's for patrons only. Patrons only, everybody. Patron continues to grow. We had a successful week, I think, because of Sharpling, correct? I think Tom Sharpling's show really said, you know what? I love this show. I want to support this show. Now's the time. We'll see you guys in 5 minutes for the After Hours experience. Lizzie Cooperman sticking around with the earphones in for the first time. And now it's a whole new world.
It's a whole new experience.
Whole new experience for Lizzie. Thank you, everyone. See you in a few.
The pounding, the pounding, the pounding, 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 pounding.
I want to thank every Amazon employee and every Amazon customer because you guys paid for all this. So seriously, for every Amazon customer out there and every Amazon employee, thank you from the bottom of my heart very much.
Things they would argue. I do not sing what I believe. I only give them fact. If they believe quite otherwise, it still will have impact. But truth is truth, and if they then decide to live with lies, that's their concern, not mine, my friend. They're free to fantasize.